Hello friends, I'm Samiksha and I am an aptitude trainer. Today's video is about some techniques and tricks that you can use to speed your calculation. So let's get started. So in today's video, what we are gonna see is first multiplication techniques, followed by how we can get squares and easily calculate the square roots. Thirdly, some cubes and cube root techniques, followed by something which is called as a reciprocal chart, and finally we'll discuss some shortcuts for division. So let's get started. Let's start with multiplication. Now generally, how do we multiply numbers? Let's take a two-digit number. Let's multiply 12 into 12. Now if it's 12 into 12, there are multiple ways you can do this particular problem. So one way is, if you know the table of 12, I can directly say 12 2s is 24. You carry 2, 12 1s are 12 plus 2, that is giving me 14. So my answer is 144. Now the other way could be, let's say you don't know the table of 12. So how would you solve? You'll say, let me carry it forward side by side. So it's gonna be like 12 and 12. It is unit by unit multiplication. 2 into 2, that's 4. 2 1s is 2. Then second step, you put down the cross or a 0 here. 1 2s is 2. 1 1s is 1. So again it's giving me the answer 144. But if you see, this method, the conventional method that we are using, is lengthier, or rather I would say the number of digits you have in the base multiplicand is equivalent to the number of steps you get below, and then you add up and you get your answer. So what today's method of multiplication is, irrespective of what is the number of digits you are multiplying, we'll try and see how we can get our answer in just single one step. So let's move forward. The multiplication method that we will see is called crisscross method. Now what is this crisscross method? Let me make one design, 1 cross 1. This is my step number 1, this is my step number 2, and this is my step number 3. Now what are the points you need to take into consideration? First thing is, the number of digits I'm going to multiply are to be multiplied in this fashion, that is from step 1 to step 3. Now the multiplication product might be a single digit number or a two digit number. So we'll take two examples, one in which the answer is one digit, whereas the second in which the answer is two digits. So let's move on with the same example we had started today. Let's multiply 12 into 12. Now we know that your answer should be 144. Let's try getting it by this method. So the first step is, you need to multiply vertically. So that's 2 into 2, that gives me 4. So let me just write down it just below the step. Now the second step, that is you need to multiply in cross fashion. So we'll multiply 1 into 2, that is giving me 2, and then again 1 into 2, that's giving me 2. Now the product which I get, I'm gonna add it. 2 plus 2 is 4. So that's the answer, that's the second digit of my answer, that's 4. And finally the third step, again you need to multiply vertically. So it's 1 into 1, that's giving me 1. Let me write it down here. So my answer is 144. I hope this is clear. Let's take down one more example using the same method. Let's try multiplying 13 into 13. So as a first step, 3 into 3, that's giving me 9. The second step, 1 into 3 gives me 3. Again 1 into 3 gives me 3. 3 plus 3 is giving me 6. That's the second digit of my answer. And finally 1 into 1, that's 1. I hope the method is clear. This was an example wherein answer was one digit. Now let's take an example wherein my answer would be two digit, and let's see what I can do in that case. So let's take an example of 15 multiplied by 15. Now everyone knows what is 15 square. 15 square is gonna be 225. So let's see how we can proceed. So first step, 5 into 5, that is giving me 25. So I'll write down 5 and I'll carry 2. Now second step, 1 into 5 is giving me 5. 1 into 5 is giving me 5. So I'm gonna add all these digits. 5 and 5 is 10, 10 plus 2 is 12. So what I'll do is, I'll write this 2 in my answer and this 1 will get carry forward in the next step. So that's 2. Let me carry a 1 here. Third step, 1 into 1 is giving me 1 and I need to add this carry. So 1 plus 1 is giving me 2. That gives me the answer 225. I hope this is clear. Let's take one more example to make it clear. Let's try multiplying 17 multiplied by 17. So 7 into 7 gives me 49. I'll carry 4. 1 into 7 gives me 7 and 1 into 7 gives me 7. 7 and 7 is 14. 14 plus 4 is 18. So I'll write down this 8 and I'll carry this 1. So that's 8 and let's carry 1. Now 1 into 1 gives me 1 plus this 1 will give me 2. So my answer is 289. So guys, I think you might have understood this method. Try doing this on regular basis instead of your conventional multiplication method. So you'll get well versed with this method. So if you're clear with this point, let's move on to the next point to be covered, that is squares and square roots. Now, when it comes to the calculation of squares and square roots, now generally obviously there are n number of methods we can get squares and then get their square roots. But I would like to suggest you one thing. For squares, it's very essential that you get to know or you can by heart squares till 30. Now, what would happen if you do this? You would say this video is about short tricks about calculating everything, and then why am I asking you to memorize the squares till 30? The point is, if you can somehow manage to calculate or to memorize squares till 30, I can give you methods that would just increase this level and get down squares till 130. This is one point. Now the other way around is, we have just learned a technique for multiplication, that's 2-digit multiplication. So you can obviously use that method and then again calculate squares, but then multiplication also takes maybe some 20-30 seconds. The method I'll be giving you for square calculation is even more easier. That would just take some 15-20 seconds to get the answer. So it entirely depends upon you how you prefer to get this in root. So let's get started with calculation of squares. Now, squares from 1 to 30 is what you know, is what I'm assuming. So let's move on forward how I can get squares from 31 to 80. So the method or the formula that I'm going to use is 50 plus minus x the whole square is equal to 25 plus x slash x square. And the rule is, this x square which you see should be a 2-digit answer. So let's get started. Now, as the formula states, you see I have written 50 plus minus x the whole square, which indirectly also tells you that the number should be in vicinity of 50. Okay? And the number x, that's the surplus or the deficit, then I'm gonna add or subtract from 50, is the same number symbolizing x and x square over here. So let's take down one example so that you understand this better. Let's go with very basic example of, let's say I want to calculate square of 52. Now if you observe 52, how much am I adding or subtracting in 50? I'm actually adding 2. So the value of x here will be equal to 2. Now since I'm adding in 50, I will go with the formula of 50 plus x. So let's get started. 52 square is gonna be 25 plus 2 and 2 square. Now what is 2 square? 2 square is 4, but this formula says that this x square should give you a 2-digit answer. So how can I represent 4 as a 2-digit number? I can simply write 2 square instead of 4. I can write it as 04. These are gonna be the last two digits of my 52 square. Next step is you need to add this 25 plus 2, that is 27. So that is the square of 52. Isn't this easier compared to the multiplication technique? Obviously, yes. So that's why I'm saying you need to memorize squares from 1 to 30. Now it's very easy. Daily you can start with memorizing 2. Now I assume that you'll be knowing at least squares till 15. So it's just another 15 numbers. So on a basis of 2, I can say a week work. I think that's pretty much easy. Let's try some other example. Let's go with something like 48. Now when I wish to calculate square of 48, it's deficit or it's less than 50. So the value of x is gonna be minus 2. So how can I get that now? 48 square, it's gonna be 25. Now since x is minus 2, it's 25 minus 2 slash minus 2 square. Now again, minus 2 square is going to be 4, but I need to make it 2 digit. So it's gonna be 04 followed by 25 minus 2, that's giving me 23. That's the square of 48. I hope this first method is clear. Okay, so let's move on to the next set. So we have finished so far calculating squares from 31 to 80. Now let's see a method that can calculate squares from 81 to 130. So the formula is 100 plus minus x the whole square is equal to 100 plus 100 plus 2x x square. Again the rules remain same, that this x square should be a 2-digit answer. So let's take an example. Let's take 103. Now just like the previous method, now 103 is 3 more than 100. So the value of x is going to be plus 3. So let's just put it in the formula. It's 100 plus 2 into 3 and 3 square. Now again 3 square is going to be a single digit. So let's make it 2 digit. 3 square is 9. So we'll be writing it as 09. Then 2 into 3 is giving me 6. 6 plus 100 is going to give me 106. This is the method, or this is the square of 103. Now let's take an example wherein the number is less than 100. Let me move with something like 88. Now in 88, what is the value of x? Now x is a deficit and the deficit is of minus 12. So let's put it in the formula. It would be 100 plus 2 into minus 12 slash minus 12 square. Now minus 12 square is going to be 144. But this particular place requires to be a 2-digit answer. So if this is 144, what am I supposed to do? It's very simple. I'll be writing down this 44 as 2-digit, and this 1 which I have, I'll be carrying it in the next step. So let me first write down all of this clearly. So this is 100 minus 24 slash 144. So what is my answer going to look like? This 44 will be the last 2 digits of my answer. This 1 which I have, I'm going to carry in this difference which I have. So now 100 minus 24. 100 minus 24 is going to give me 76, and that 76 plus this 1 will give me 77. So that would be the remaining 2 digits of my square. I hope this is clear. I have tried and taken an example wherein the x value gives you a single digit answer. It gives you a 3-digit answer. So I hope you have understood. So guys, I think this squares section is pretty much clear. Let's not waste time and move on to square roots. Now when it comes to square roots, many a times, not many a times, it's always, there's not a particular method which we can follow. There are n number of methods. I've come up with a very simple and basic level. Now generally when it is for square roots, what children tend to do is, they either factorize the number and then try pairing the numbers and getting the square roots, or the other way around is you use the conventional long division method to get the square roots. Now the problem with these methods is, first of all, they are time consuming, and on top of that, if you're not able to factorize or get the proper dividend in particular divisions, it becomes very tedious and you just leave off questions on square roots. Now let's see a method through which square root calculation, it's gonna be very easy. So for that, we'll be making two columns. The first column is gonna be having numbers from 1 to 9, and in the second column I'll be making, or I'll be noting down the units place of their squares. So let's get started. Okay, so what I have done is I've written down numbers from 1 to 9. So let's mention the units place of their squares. What do I mean by this? For let's say if we go with 5, what is square of 5? 25. So I'll be writing down 5. So that is what I'm trying to say. So for 1 it will be 1, for 2, 2 square is 4, 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16, so I'll just write 6. Now 6 square 36, so we'll again write 6. For 7 it's 49, so 9. For 8 it's 64, so we'll write 4. And for 9 it's 81, so we'll write down 1. Now if you observe these two columns, there is a particular pattern it's forming. Observe, see, the square of 1 and the square of 9 both ends in 1. The square of 2 and the square of 8, they both are ending in 4. Followed by square of 3 and square of 7, both are ending with 9. The square of 4 and the square of 6 is ending in 6, except for the fact that it's only the square of 5 that's ending with 5. So this is very much important in terms of square root calculation. We'll be using this to find our square roots. So now before I actually apply this method, let's see a trick through which you can calculate square of a number, that is any number ending with 5. For instance, let's take the example of 15. Now 15 square, everyone knows it's 225. Let's apply the shortcut trick. Now what is that trick? You have 5 in the units place, take its square. 5 square is 25. So what we'll do is, we'll write down 25. Now the next step is, whatever adjacent number you have over here, multiply it by the next consecutive number. So after 1, the next consecutive number which we have is 2. Now take this product, 1 into 2, that gives me 2. That would be the first digit of your square. It's giving me 225. I hope this method is clear. Let's try one more example. Let's try with 25 square. Let's repeat it again. 5 square will be 25. Now the number 2, the next number is 3. 2 into 3 is going to give me 6. So that's the first place of my number. 625 is a square of 25. Let's try one more. 35 square. So again 5 square, 25. 3 multiplied by the next digit, that's 4. 3 into 4 will give me 12. So my answer is 1225. I hope this method is clear. Okay, so let's apply it with square root calculation. Now let's try with a very simple example, which is which I can say is familiar to you. Let's try with 144. Now, as everyone knows, 144, we have just started our video with this particular answer, wherein we multiply 12 with 12. So which means the square root of 144 should be 12. Now how can I apply it with this method? So let's take the number 144. So what is your step number 1? Observe your units place. What is the units place? It's 4. So let's refer the chart which we have. Now which number square ends in 4? It's either 2 or it's either 8. So let's write down. The units place of my square root will be either 2 or will be either 8. I repeat again, how did I do this? I observe the units place, it's 4. Then I refer the chart. I see whose square ends with 4. So it's either 2 or it's either 8. So I write down 2 and 8. Now step number 2. Then step number 2, what I'm going to do is, I'll simply cancel off the last 2 digits of the perfect square which I have. So 1 and 2. Now step number 3, after cancelling out the last two digits, I'll just pay attention to whatever number is left. Now in this case, it's a single digit number. It might be 2 digit or it might be 3 digit, depends on the perfect square which you have. So I have the number left to be 1. Now I will be looking for a perfect square less than or equal to the remaining number. Now, and further on, get the square root of that perfect square. So if we go with 1, any perfect square or any number that is less than or equal to 1 and a perfect square is 1 itself. And if I take square root of 1, obviously my answer is 1. So I can say the next digit of my square root should be 1 and 1. So the numbers which can be square roots of 144 would be either 12 or either 118. So now what am I going to do? You remember I had marked this step wherein I said that numbers ending with 5 are going to help me this? Yes. So what I'll do, I'll check for a number that's lying between 12 and 18 and ending with 5. So obviously it's 15. Now I'll get the square of this number. Now getting square of a number ending with 5 is this trick which we have just studied. So let's get square of 15. So the same method, 5 square 25. 1 multiplied by the next consecutive digit. So after 1 it's 2. 1 into 2 is giving me 2. So square of 15 is 225. Now just observe the number they have asked you to calculate the square root of. It's 144. So is it greater than 225 or less than 225? It's less than 225. So I can say 12 is my square root. I hope you're getting this method. So let's try it down with some perfect squares and try getting their square roots. Let's take a number, say 10609. Now this is a bigger number and you need to find square root of this number. So let's follow the same step. What is the units place? It's 9. Now if you refer this chart, whose square ends with 9? It's either 3 or it's either 7. So let's just write that. It's either 3 or it's either 7. Now second step, we will cancel out two digits from the given square. So 0 and 9 is gone. Then further, I need to look down for the number which is left. Now I am left with something as 106. So first of all, we'll look for a perfect square less than or equal to 106. Now 106, the perfect square of 3 digit, it starts with 10. Now perfect square of 10 is 100. Perfect square of 11 is 121. Now if I go with 11, it's more than 106. So the perfect square I'm looking for is 100. And if I take the square root of it, I get the number 10. So the number square root that I'm looking for should be either 103 or should be 107. Now a number ending with 5 in them, that's 105. Now how will I get 105 square? Simple. 5 square will be 25. Now the number left is 10. 10 into 11 will give me 110. So the square of 105 is 11025. Now observe the number you have. It's 10609. It's obviously less than 11025. So your square root should be 103. I hope the square root method is clear.